Patch the little blanket doll. In a quiet little town stood a toy workshop called Windle and Company. It wasn't very big or very shiny, but it was filled with shelves of handmade toys, each stitched, painted, or carved with care. Mr. Windle, the toy maker, had been crafting toys for over 40 years. His hands were a little shaky now, and he often needed to squint through his thick round glasses. But he still loved his work with all his heart. One snowy afternoon, he decided to try something different. "I shall make a soft blanket doll," he said. "Something small and cuddly for the babies." He carefully cut the fabric, picked out soft pastel colors, and sewed a smiling face with little button eyes. But as he was stitching the final patch, his hand trembled, and the square piece of cloth ended up crooked, sticking out on one side like a floppy ear. "Oh dear," Mr. Windle sighed, "I've made a mistake." He held the doll up and smiled gently. "Well, I suppose not everything has to be perfect." He placed the little blanket doll on a lower shelf beside the other soft toys. The doll, though small and quiet, could feel. He blinked his button eyes and looked around at the neat rows of bears, bunnies, and dolls in crisp dresses. He looked down at his crooked Patch and sighed. "I'm Patch," he whispered to himself, naming himself after the floppy square. As the shop closed for the night and the lights dimmed, the toys came to life, quietly, so as not to wake the shop cat, Whiskers. A tall ballerina doll in a glittery tutu twirled near Patch. "Oh, hello," she said politely, eyeing his uneven shape. "New, are you?" "Yes. I'm Patch," he said, nervously smoothing his sides. "I'm Lila," she replied. "Don't worry. You'll find a home soon enough. People love soft toys." Patch looked around at the rows of perfect toys. "But I'm not exactly made right." "Nonsense," said a plush lion nearby. "You're soft, clean, and friendly looking. That's what matters." Still, Patch couldn't help but worry. What if no one wanted a crooked blanket doll? The next day, children came in with their parents, giggling and pointing excitedly at the toys. A little girl in a red coat picked up Lila the ballerina and twirled her around. "She's perfect," she said. A boy ran to the shelf and grabbed the plush lion. "Roar," he yelled with delight. But no one looked at Patch. Day after day, children came and went, and one by one, the toys around him were chosen and taken home. Patch remained. Sometimes he heard whispers from other toys, things like, "He looks a bit odd," or "That patch doesn't match." Patch pretended not to hear. One night, as the toys settled in for sleep, Patch whispered to the empty shelf beside him, "Maybe I don't belong here. Maybe Mr. Windle should have thrown me away." "No," said a quiet voice. It was Whiskers the cat, who had been watching quietly from the counter. "You were made with love. That makes you more special, not less." Patch blinked in surprise. No one had ever said that to him before. Then, one bright morning, the bell above the shop door jingled and in came a woman carrying a little boy in her arms. He looked about 4 years old, with round glasses and a bandage on his leg. He had trouble walking and held tightly onto his mother's shoulder. "His name is Theo," she told Mr. Windle softly. "He's been in the hospital for weeks. We're looking for a soft toy to keep him company." Mr. Windle beamed. "You've come to the right place." They looked through the shelves. Lila was gone. So was the lion. The mother picked up a teddy bear, but Theo didn't react. Then he pointed at Patch. "That one," he said quietly. "The one with the floppy square." Mr. Windle hesitated. "Oh, that one's, well, he's a little different." Theo nodded. I like him." The mother lifted Patch off the shelf and handed him to Theo, who hugged him tightly and smiled for the first time that day. "We'll take this one," she said. Patch could hardly believe it. He was going home. That night, in a cozy bedroom with stars stuck to the ceiling and a moon-shaped nightlight glowing softly, Patch lay beside Theo in bed. "You're perfect," Theo whispered, running his fingers over the crooked patch. "Just like me." Patch had never felt so warm or safe. Back at the toy shop, Mr. Windle dusted off Patch's empty spot and smiled. "He was never a mistake," he whispered. And Whiskers, purring softly nearby, couldn't have agreed more.